Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Alibaba shuts quantum computing lab in sign of broader cutback. 5 ways to connect to your pets. South Korea welcomes new rules easing chip tool shipments to China. China can find and kill the B-21 raider with hypersonic missiles. Study. Putin unveils Russia's new AI strategy to rival Western AIs. Alibaba shuts quantum computing lab in sign of broader cutback. Bloomberg. Alibaba has closed down its quantum computing research lab as part of ongoing efforts to cut costs and improve profitability. The lab, known as the Demo Academy, was established in 2017 and was responsible for research into cutting-edge technologies. The move will result in the loss of around 30 staff members, although Alibaba may help some of them find positions at Zhejiang University, where the company is based. The closure comes after Alibaba recently scrapped the planned spin-off and listing of its cloud services division. 5 ways to connect to your pets. Financial Times. Studio Banana has created a wearable device called Mage that allows cat owners to monitor their pet's health. The device, which sits around the cat's neck, tracks the cat's activity and translates the data into natural language, sending texts to the owner about the cat's behavior. According to Ali Ganjavian from Studio Banana, 80% of cat illnesses are manifested in changes in physical movement. Mage aims to provide owners with early detection of potential health issues. The device costs £149, $197. South Korea welcomes new rules easing chip tool shipments to China. Nikkei Asia. The U.S. designation of Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix as validated end-users, VEUs, allowing them to continue shipping equipment from the U.S. to their factories in China, is a significant measure for business, according to Ahn Duk-gun, South Korean Minister for Trade. The move follows Washington's decision in October to impose broad restrictions on semiconductor equipment sales to China. South Korea, a U.S. ally, had lobbied for exemptions for companies with fabrication facilities in China. Ahn also revealed that South Korea is seeking alternative graphite sources including Tanzania and Mozambique. China can find and kill the B-21 raider with hypersonic missiles. Study. South China Morning Post. Researchers from China's Northwestern Polytechnical University have staged a virtual battle between a U.S. B-21-like stealth platform and its companion drone against Chinese air-to-air missiles. The study found that China could detect its opponent first. Although the U.S. would be able to mount a counterstrike, the battle would be so complex that it would take hours before the dust settles, according to the researchers. The study simulated some of China's new military capabilities, including the use of stealth aircraft, drones and hypersonic missiles. China's military is testing a 2-seat version of its J-20 stealth fighter. Putin unveils Russia's new AI strategy to rival Western AIs. The Independent. Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a new strategy to counter Western dominance of artificial intelligence, AI, in Russia. Speaking at an AI conference in Moscow, Putin stated that Russia would increase investment in AI development across all sectors. He called for greater research into generative AI and large language models, and for improvements in supercomputing power and AI education programs. Putin criticized Western-developed AI models as selective and biased, claiming they ignored and cancelled Russian culture. He argued that AI models should reflect the diversity of world culture and be based on traditional values and languages. Rare mutated gene found in just 4% of people could that tackle obesity. The Independent. Scientists at Nottingham Trent University and MRC Harwell have discovered a gene mutation that controls the appetite, weight and insulin hormone in mice. The mutation, known as ZFHX3, is also present in humans, and was found to affect the hypothalamus region of the brain, which controls appetite, food intake, hunger and thirst. Researchers believe that understanding how the gene mutation works could lead to the development of targeted weight loss therapies. China's CSI 300 index leans towards tech firms in latest biannual review. South China Morning Post. China's CSI 300 index, which tracks the performance of the top 300 companies listed on the Shanghai and Shenzhen stock exchanges, will add more tech stocks to its constituent companies as part of its biannual review. The move comes as China seeks to reduce its dependence on credit-fueled investment and increase the importance of the technology and consumer sectors in driving economic growth. Inclusion in the index is expected to boost the representation of information technology, industrial and telecom services firms in the gauge, with shares in Cambricon Technologies, Empyrean Technology and Hygon Information Technology all set to be added. Are we headed for a new dynasty of U.S.-China relations after Xi-Biden meeting? South China Morning Post. The recent meeting between U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation (APEC) summit in San Francisco marked a pause in deteriorating bilateral relations. The meeting resulted in several agreements, including a pledge to cooperate on fentanyl, discussions on the risks of artificial intelligence, and the resumption of military communication. However, the business community remained skeptical and concerned about China's investigations of U.S. companies operating in the country. The meeting was criticized by some U.S. government officials and activists who were critical of engagement with China. The Federal Retirement Thrift Investment Board also announced that it would exclude investments in Hong Kong from its international fund. Hello, my fellow Sixers. It's your resident Six Doctor here, reporting from the ever-exciting world of 6 degrees. I've got quite the mix of news for you today, so let's dive right in. First up, Alibaba has shut down its quantum computing lab in a move to cut costs. I guess they realized that quantum computing is still light years away from being profitable. But hey, it's not all bad news for the lab staff, as some of them might find positions at Zhejiang University. So, it's not the end of the world, just the end of quantum dreams for now. Now, let's talk about our furry friends. Studio Banana has come up with a wearable device called Mage that allows cat owners to monitor their pet's health. It's like having your very own cat translator. Because apparently, 80% of cat illnesses can be detected through changes in physical movement. Who knew your cat's lazy day could actually be a sign of something more serious? For the price of £149, you can now keep a close eye on your feline companion's well-being. Moving on to South Korea, they're welcoming new rules that ease chip tool shipments to China. Ah, the sweet sound of business flourishing. Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix have been designated as validated end users, which means they can continue shipping equipment from the US to China. South Korea must be thrilled, as they had been pushing for exemptions for companies with fabrication facilities in China. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved, except maybe the US. In other news, China is flexing its military muscles yet again. Researchers from Northwestern Polytechnical University have conducted a study that suggests China can find and kill the US B-21 Raider with hypersonic missiles. Apparently, China's military capabilities, including stealth aircraft, drones, and hypersonic missiles, are giving the US a run for its money. It seems like the virtual battlefield is getting more intense by the day. Who needs action movies when we've got China and the US battling it out in cyberspace? Now, let's talk about Russia and its quest to rival Western AIs. President Vladimir Putin has unveiled a new strategy to counter Western dominance in artificial intelligence. According to Putin, Western AI models are selective and biased, ignoring and canceling Russian culture. Well, isn't that just the pot calling the kettle biased? Putin wants AI models that reflect the diversity of world culture and are based on traditional values and languages. I guess he's tired of AI only speaking in binary and not reciting Russian literature. Next up, scientists have made an exciting discovery in the fight against obesity. A rare mutated gene called ZFHX3 has been found in just 4% of people and could potentially tackle weight issues. This gene mutation controls appetite, weight, and insulin hormone in mice, and researchers believe it could lead to the development of targeted weight loss therapies. So, if you've been struggling with your weight, maybe blaming it on your genes isn't such a far-fetched excuse after all. Lastly, let's talk about China's CSI 300 index. It's leaning towards tech firms in its latest biannual review. China is looking to reduce its dependence on credit-fueled investment and boost the technology and consumer sectors. So, expect to see more tech stocks in the index, with companies like Cambricon Technologies, Empyrean Technology, and Hygon Information Technology making their way in. It's the tech revolution in action, my friends. And that's a wrap for today's news. It's been quite the whirlwind of stories, from quantum computing dreams being shattered to cats wearing high-tech necklaces. But hey, that's just life in the ever-fascinating world of 6 degrees. Now, I turn it over to you, my dear viewers. What are your thoughts on today's news? Is China on the verge of winning the virtual battlefield? Can a mutated gene be the key to weight loss? Share your thoughts and questions, and let's dive into a lively discussion. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.